Listen, you do the podcast good today.
I'm gonna do it real good, okay?
You do it good today or else.
I'm gonna do it better than good.
Oh shit, the camera's on.
Well, hurry up.
Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this afternoon, Ed Montana. Alongside me today.
Did you say today?
Today. Today and today and forevermore.
Don't call me gay. I know it's Pride Month, but
Is it?
it is, yeah.
I didn't know that. If I'd have known that, I'd have broken out a rainbow shirt or something.
Got some Skittles?
Alongside me today, there's a spider over there on the wall.
Oh.
We're not going to get anything done on this podcast.
Probably not.
Alongside me today, I am no longer flying solo, as you can tell, because I'm very easily distracted. Alongside me today, my brother, Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys can see this video. I listened to the podcast. That's all I could do. I only listened. And I noticed there was no video, but hopefully you guys, I believe you've uploaded it now, right?
The video is being re-uploaded.
Okay, so go check out episode 76, where Ed talks about beer chugging and his favorite all-time sports fan, Drake. Go watch it, listen to it.
As much as I've been critical of Drake, wearing a Del Curry Toronto Raptors jersey to Game 1, I thought was pretty sweet.
I mean, listen, I love to troll. He is doing a great job of troll. The guy picked off some lint off of Steph Curry's hair and sold it on eBay, allegedly.
Probably.
Right?
Probably.
I think he's doing a great job. I think it's good. I agree with much with you as you mentioned last week about him, massaging and touching Nick Nurse and play your position. You're a fan. You want to get up and clap and fist pump and do the whole Tiger Woods thing. And
yeah,
that's cool. But just
chill out.
Speaking of massages, I'm starting to think that Drake was the one that gave Carlos Correa a massage and fucked up his ribs or whatever the hell's wrong with Correa.
First of all, what is wrong with Carlos Correa? Oh, wait. I know what's wrong with him. He got married, so he wasn't getting one of those special Thai massages.
Right.
Because in those Thai massages, they don't touch your ribs.
Right. Well, they may.
No, they don't. Not if it has a happy ending.
And I seen I don't know. I just seen the caption, but supposedly the wife came out and spoke about this massage, and I didn't hear it or anything like that. It was just,
what did she say?
I don't know. The caption was Carlos Correa wife comes out and speaks about the massage and or what happened. I don't know, but bro,
here's my theory, and it's not a good theory. There's something else to that massage thing. Now, the Astros and Carlos Correa are playing it right in that they're not saying anything. But there's something else there.
So you're saying that he has a legit injury that is...
He's got some kind of injury, and he did not get it from a massage. Look, I'm no physiologist. You can break ribs with pressure. It is possible, but rib bones are flexible such that they bend when you put pressure on them.
Right.
They generally do not crack from pressure. They crack from impact. So there's something else there. You don't break a rib from a massage.
Unless...
And you especially don't break a rib from a massage when you're an elite athlete.
Right.
Your 97-year-old grandmother with some serious osteoporosis may break a rib from a massage, but not a 25-year-old athlete.
Yeah,
there's something else there.
Unless Bryce Harper's dad was giving Carlos Correa a massage, then I don't see how the Thai lady at Uptown Spa
at the old Thai massage place. Yeah, no, there's something else there, and I'm not sure what it is, but look. He's been injury prone. Yeah. And look, there's something not right there. I'm not sure what it is, but and I can't even begin to speculate what it is, but that's one of those that's just kind of funky.
Yeah.
And the Astros and Carlos Correa are playing it right. They're saying he's out for 3 to 4 weeks. He's got a rib injury. It's cracked. It's from a massage. No one's talking. That's the way to do it. Because, and what that shows me is the organization and the team are still on the same page. Because when we've seen stuff like this before and it blows up, it's when the organization and the player are not on the same page and they want out. Somebody wants out, right? Jeff Kent, when he broke his wrist washing his truck, right?
And, you know,
it's not good.
His issues have been back problems, right? Mm-hmm. That's not. It's not good when you're a shortstop and you have back problems. It seems to be ongoing, right? Because I mean, he had a few.
More than one.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I agree with you, right? That the Astros might be handling this the right way. Remember when Carlos Correa did not want a long-term contract? Like he wasn't signing, right? Wasn't it him? It wasn't. So. It was him, not Altuve, right? It was him.
It was him.
Every year when I guess he was eligible for a contract, he wouldn't sign the long term, or he didn't want to agree to a long term, or something like that. I believe. I wonder if things would be different if the Astros wouldn't be covering up for him if he did have this massive contract, and all of a sudden he would, not be able to perform like this, right? Like you said, somebody would want out.
Yeah, you got to wonder if part of the cover up here is that they're not looking to get out of the Carlos Correa deal and ship him off someplace else. And they don't want to mess up his value because they want to be able to get something back for him.
Right.
I don't know. The Astros as an organization, I think, are doing a very good job of running the organization. Years ago, they had a problem with one of the GMs that they had. And when I say years ago, I mean like 15 years ago. They had a GM that couldn't sign players, they couldn't even sign their draft picks, for crying out loud. So, it was very difficult. The team's farm system crumbled and blah, blah. That was under the old ownership. This new ownership has done a very good job of running the organization very well. They've managed the salary situation well. They've managed their contracts well. They've managed the farm system well. This Carlos Correa thing is
they need him.
Getting kind of they need him, but it's getting kind of funky. There's something weird going on.
I think Springer has been out.
Yeah, they've hit a bit of an injury bug. They still have the best record in the AL.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have the third best record now in the AL.
Let me guess, Yankees and Twins.
Yeah.
Nice call on the Twins, by the way. I mean,
wow.
they've really. I mean, I don't know if I can name you 5 players on their team, but they're running away with the Central.
Yeah, they're running away with the Central, and the Astros are still running away with the West. The Yankees are in a dogfight with the Rays, and you have to believe the Red Sox are going to come back, but the Red Sox are 9.5 out.
Well, they just beat them 2 straight games. They play tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. The Rays, I think
they beat them 2 games earlier in the season as well. Okay, so they've beat them 4 out of 4 this year. So.
And the Rays, I think they're on a 2-3 game losing streak. So I mean, there's
but they're still 7-3 over their last 10, and losing 2 or 3 games during the course of a season not a big deal.
Yeah.
The Rays are and the Rays are playing good ball. I guess last year was not a fluke.
We'll see how long they can hang in there.
They're doing it with 2 starters.
I mean, look, I know the Yankee hate is enormous around the nation.
Right.
But what that team has done with all the injuries is freaking amazing.
They've got an all-star team on the IL.
I just and on the field apparently because they have like the best record or the second best record
in the American League.
In the American League, okay. So I mean, holy crap! Really, I'm speechless as to how that team has responded. The players have responded. I don't know. I put all that on the players, man. I mean, they're out there playing.
Yeah, look, and the players, but it's also Aaron Boone. You know, baseball is the kind of game that it's a long season, and the manager, I think, really has to push the right buttons in the clubhouse. It's stuff you don't see. It's the conversations we don't hear. It's the subtle nuances in the lineup. It's the little things. My hat's off to Aaron Boone as well, because I think it takes a lot to not completely freak out when you lose all of your guns, basically.
I mean, they have 100 home runs sitting on the IL.
Easily.
No, between just Judge and Stanton alone.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, so, and props.
And Didi Gregorius is still
That's
out.
right. Now, you got to wonder, right? He's coming back, I think, pretty soon. But
That's what they say.
What's his name? DJ LeMahieu is playing pretty good ball. I mean, you got to wonder, do you sit the hot bat and put Didi in there or what? I mean,
You got to wonder what they're going to do if everyone comes back.
Now, that's interesting. Now, that's and that's the part that sucks about being a manager, right? You put Didi as soon as he's available, and he's not playing good or whatever, or he gets injured again, and you're like, and then the fans are gonna be like, oh well, Boone, I mean,
Yeah,
he can't win.
It's not going to be easy when those guys come back.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've been able to more than hold down the fort, right?
Yeah.
They're not just treading water. They're excelling in spite of the injuries.
And real quick on the Yankees,
Boone's done a good job there. He obviously will have a different challenge as those people come back.
And when MLB Network put out the top 10, they went position per position. I kind of did my own ranking for the catcher position, and I think they had Gary Sanchez ranked pretty high. And I was like, and I'll be the first to admit, I was like, there's no way he should be ranked that high. I kind of had him low. I was like, he looks a little on the chubby side. He doesn't hustle. A lot of pass balls. Holy crap! I mean, he is the best catcher. Yeah. Like, if we're going by stats, he's up there as one of the top catchers in all of baseball. He's really taken me by surprise. His
bat has always been his bread and butter, so to speak, right? We've always been impressed with his hitting. But defensively, he's doing a great job as well. Or, not a great job, but certainly better than he has been in previous years. Yeah. He seems to improve that. It seems to have improved that part of his game quite a bit, and looks every bit of the part of an all-star catcher at this point.
Boy, Jay's gonna love these first 10 minutes of this podcast because cousin Jay, that is, because he loves the Yankees. He loves how much we talk about them. He's gonna love this.
Oh, but we talked about the Astros in the beginning.
Yeah, but
the Astros are running away with the West, only because Texas and Oklahoma can't figure out...
Oklahoma?
Texas and Oakland. My goodness.
You know what it is?
I should double up on this coffee.
You know what it is? It's all that salt and pepper, mostly salt, that you have on your chin. I mean, come on. Are you trying to match with your shirt or what?
What is it with my family and giving me a hard time about the color of this goatee? Like, I just turned gray this month. Yeah, I've been gray for the last 20 years.
I think I've been gray longer than you. No. I've been gray pretty long.
Dude, 20 years ago, you were a teenager.
Was I? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
No, I mean, like, so...
Because we're not used to seeing you with the goatee, I think.
I had mom and dad and my aunt and uncle over here yesterday. Our parents lived in New York for a long time while I was down here. And one of the things I always missed about them being away was not being able to watch big games with my dad. And once they moved down here, the first thing, kind of almost like the first tradition we implemented was barbecue for the Champions League final. Right? And the Champions League final used to be on a Wednesday when they moved down here 10 years ago. And I'd cut work to watch the Champions League final.
What was your excuse at work?
I'm going to go watch the Champions League final with my parents. Like, I'd take a vacation day in the middle of the week.
Yeah, but did you tell your boss that?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, we're alike in that sense then, because I'm not afraid to say
it's a vacation day, bro. What I choose to do on my vacation day is my business. It's not like I called in sick. I'm taking a vacation day.
Fair enough.
And if I had shit to do, I'd work in the morning and I'd work at night, but I'd take the day off. Anyway, so I had them over here. Yesterday was the Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham, and I had them over here yesterday. And Mom and Dad came first, right? They got here earlier, and they said hi and all that, and then they started joking around about how great I was. My uncle showed up about 20 minutes later, said hi, started joking about how great I was.
Well, I mean, they're not
I haven't
lying.
seen you. Now, today I see you, and you start nagging me. What is it with you people?
So
I've had all this, but I've been great for a long time.
All right, so the only thing left to do is go to the comment section and comment on how great Ed's hair is on YouTube, Podbean, all that shit. And let us know.
If I pull up my shirt, you really can't tell where the goatee starts and the shirt ends.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, you know, as I sit here and look at it on camera, it
kind of matches the Nike checkup on your upper left shoulder.
Yeah, the bottom has really, it's almost all white.
It's taken over, bro.
The mustache is still pretty black.
Do you dye it? Are you dyeing it?
No.
It looks like you're dyeing it.
No, I'm not.
You're dyeing it.
No,
I can't tell on this video, but in person, I can tell you're dyeing it. You sure?
A, I'm not dyeing it. B, I would never dye it. Dye it like as in color it. I would dye it as in lose weight because I don't have that kind of patience, bro.
No, I feel the same. I think that's like being a man 101. Just don't dye your hair. Don't dye your eyebrows. Don't dye the your head. Don't dye your nose hairs. Your ear hair. Listen, if there's one thing that I hate about being a guy, it's the freaking maintenance of all this. Okay, because
you spend the least amount of time maintaining it because all you do is buzz your hair and throw a hat on.
Yeah, but you gotta clip your nose hairs. You gotta clip
You don't have to.
Your ear hair. No, yes you do, because I've seen some people with like antlers coming out of their ears, and I think that is just that's just wrong. Like you just can't do that. That's a no. That's pretty nasty. I'm not grossed out by a lot of things, but I mean, seeing a 50-year-old, 55-year-old guy with hairs coming out of your nose, and I mean, I could take shears on some of these old people and freaking clip them off. I mean, that's what it would take. Yeah, I mean that's just me. That's a lot of time in the bathroom, bro.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take that long. You get those little clippers and stick them in your nose.
Right, you just,
Yeah.
The part that I hate, but I kind of like, is the part where it kind of tickles and it makes you sneeze. It feels funny. No, come on. Every guy has, I think,
it doesn't
gotten that tingly.
It doesn't tickle. Have you ever waxed your nose hair?
No.
Oh my God. So one time.
I don't know that I would.
So one time, my wife and my daughter were heating up some wax because they were going to wax their eyebrows or some shit. Okay. And my daughter says to me, she goes, "Dad, would you wax your nose hairs?" And of course, right? I'm like, yeah, how bad can it be? Right? How bad can it be? I'll do it. And so we did it. And so they stuck the hot wax in it.
Q-tip, I'm assuming?
Right, it's like a Q-tip and with wax, and they put it in there, and then you gotta kind of hold it and until it hardens, right?
Right.
And when it's in there nice and warm, it feels pretty good. It's like, oh, this is kind of soothing, right? And then when you pull it out, oh my God.
Not as soothing.
No. Bro, tears streaming down my face. I'm not talking about just in the instant. I'm talking about for 5 minutes. I was tearing. It was like, it didn't hurt 5 minutes later, but my eyes were still tearing.
Now, did you have them pull it or you pulled it yourself?
No,
because you have to pull it.
Yeah,
you have to like...
Yeah, they pulled it. Which they thought was, my daughter thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Woo. Yeah.
I would do it like, you've seen the scene from the 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Where they wax his chest.
Okay.
I would do that. I would do it once.
I don't know.
I would do it just to see.
The closest I've come was putting Nair on my chest. And the thing I don't like about that is it really
gets tingly.
Yeah, that's not tingly. It burns because then you got to take a little sponge and you got to get
rub it off.
Right. So that shit kind of hurts, and not to mention the smell. The smell's a little nasty. It smells like I don't know what the fuck the smell is. It's just. I feel like I don't need any of it for my nose because it's just gonna burn through like acid. That's what like battery acid. That's what it is. Okay, that's perfect. Nair smells like battery acid.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that.
And I've done that once, and then not ever again.
We should
leave me hairy. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I would do it for laughs, right? But like regular maintenance, waxing my chest or shaving my chest or anything like that, nah, bro. I'm just hairy. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
Screw
that.
What were we talking about before we completely got off the
I don't know.
The Twins.
The Twins.
The Twins are hitting home runs at a ridiculous pace.
And we're not even. We just started the summer.
They're at 110 home runs or something crazy like that.
Jeez.
I mean, it's
so they're on pace for like 300 team home runs.
Yeah, they're on pace for 300. They hit 100 home. They had 100 home runs in 49 games.
Wow, it's
crazy. They're 57 games into the season, and yeah, they're on pace for 300.
Wow.
On the other side, Seattle or Baltimore, one of those is on pace to give up 300.
Probably Baltimore.
Seattle's giving up a lot of home runs too.
Have they?
Yeah, which is why they're in the shitter in the West.
Okay, is Nelson Cruz on steroids? Because
you mean?
Oh, that's right. He did get pinned once, right?
I mean,
fuck, man. I mean, he in his last season before he came over to the Mariners, he played one season at Baltimore and had 40 home runs, and then he's gone on a tear with Seattle in the last 4 seasons. Not to mention he played with Robinson Cano, who was also pinned for some steroids. I mean,
then he got busted, and now he's with the Twins, and he's raking again.
I mean, holy crap.
I mean, I don't want to get into this because this is a conversation. If we go down this rabbit hole, we could talk about this for a week, and the podcast isn't generally that long. But there's an argument to be made that once you get caught for steroids, you should be banned for life. Because don't tell me that the effects of the steroids are gone. Like, so if the steroid has a shelf life of whatever, call it a month, right? Don't tell me that the benefits are gone after 30 days. They're obviously not, because if you took steroids, and I always hear this argument that people take steroids to recover faster so they can work out more. Okay, so if you took steroids for 6 months, right? And in those 6 months, you were able to work out more and get stronger and get faster and all this other stuff and recover better. And you got caught in that last month, right? And now it's out of your system 2 months later. Well, you still have all the benefit of when you were using it beforehand. And I'm not saying Nelson Cruz is still reaping the benefits, or, again, I don't know the complete science behind it, but it sure feels like once you've done steroids, you've gotten a benefit. And that benefit stays with you. If you keep working out and whatnot, that benefit stays with you. It doesn't go away because you stopped using it.
It's got to make you wonder. I mean, it makes me wonder, like, who... I mean, he's not 28 years old anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's up there in age. It's really got to make you wonder as a fan.
And the other thing, too, is you notice you don't hear a whole lot about guys, just completely dropping off after the 50-game ban. In baseball specifically, they get caught, they get suspended, they come back, they don't fall off.
No?
So...
Well, except for Robinson Cano.
Well, he didn't fall off after he got popped.
I mean, he played the second half of the season.
And part of it, too, is he's older, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's a good... In my opinion, there's an argument to be made. You get popped once, man, You got to ban him for good because you're reaping that benefit.
Well, I mean,
for a while.
Look at the other side of the coin. Pete Rose got popped once, and he got a lifetime ban, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's a completely different situation.
Right. No, but I'm saying it's illegal. Something illegal.
Right.
He did something illegal. He got popped once. And
yeah, and that's not something that has lasting effects, right?
Right.
People stop gambling.
Yeah.
And that's it, right?
So
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. In the National League, I don't know if I talked about this last week or not.
Real quick, by the way, the American League is looking like it's set in stone. I mean,
kind of like last year
and the year before.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks. It sucks for me as a fan. I don't like that.
Well, not for nothing. I mean, when we go over to the National League, we're going to see the same thing.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot unless teams start making runs.
But
we're a third of the season in.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
Well, now that we're in the National League, real quick in the West, the I think it really goes to show how fast of a start the Dodgers got going, and how slow of a start the Rockies gotten to, because even though they're like 9 games back?
Yeah.
They're on a 7. They're playing better ball now. I mean, they're like
the Rockies.
The Rockies are
playing good ball.
Yeah, they're playing good. So
they got off to a mediocre start.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They were 500 for quite a while. The Dodgers are just blistering, and Cody Bellinger, man, is just
he's having
that guy.
He's having a season for the ages. The 400 didn't last that long.
Right. No, he's not going to hit 400,
but I mean, what he's doing is he's got a really sweet swing, man.
Yeah, I like watching him play.
Yeah, pretty amazing what he's doing.
And the throws from right field.
Oh yeah,
sick.
Yeah,
that one against the Mets at third base. I mean, that was.
Well, he had another one at home plate. I think the game before.
The one to third base. I mean.
Or he saved the run in that one.
Honestly, in that play on that throw to third, Justin Turner did him no favors, because Justin Turner made that play a lot closer than it had to be, because he stepped up 3 feet.
Yeah, he was playing off the bag, right?
Like 3 steps up, and if he'd have stayed at the base, I mean, he could have put the glove down and just sat there and waited for that guy to slide in. Instead, he made it closer, actually tagged him on the butt, and still got him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hell of a throw. But, I mean, Bellinger is just...
Yeah, Bellinger's having a crazy season.
He is having a crazy season.
He's up to
all that at this point.
He's up to about 22 home runs.
Something
I know Yelich has 22.
Him and Yelich are hitting dingers at a ridiculous pace, but Bellinger's doing a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
At this point, really, if you look over at the National League, I think we already have our 5 playoff teams, unless someone comes out of nowhere. But I think Philly and Atlanta are going to fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Philly's going to take it, but we'll see how it goes. Milwaukee and Chicago are going to fight it out in the Central. Maybe the Cardinals will make a run.
How far back are the Cardinals?
The Cardinals are 3 out, which is not a lot, but I just don't get the feeling that they're really going to...
Remember, the Cardinals have this knack for going on runs at the end of the season.
Yeah, in July and August.
If they stay close enough... watch out.
They could make it interesting.
But they're not going to, because that's one of my World Series picks. So
and then out west, you've got the Dodgers with a 9-game lead over the Rockies.
Are the Padres still in second in that one?
In third, 9.5.
Oh, they're in third now? Okay. See, I think the Rockies are going to make a little run. And the Dodgers are just going to cool off a little bit. They're not going to go in a slump. I just think they're going to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to play 6, 7, 8 baseball all year.
And that's where we're going to have... a race at the end of the season, I think. Yeah,
but even so, I don't think. Look, the Dodgers are on pace to win like 112 games, right?
Right.
678 is quite the percentage, and they're not going to hold that all year. I mean, they're not going to win 110 games, but they're probably going to win 100. You know, they're 40-19 right now. That's pretty darn good. I can see him going 60-43 the rest of the way.
Well, you got to think too. They still play the Rockies a bunch of times,
right?
So that's where the Rockies can kind of control, can gain control of this thing,
right? But to be fair, a lot of those series end up 2-1, 1-2,
Yeah.
and everything kind of evens out in the end. So I don't think the Rockies are gonna. 9 games to me seems like a lot, and I know it's early, and we're projecting kind of long term, but it's gonna be tough to.
Both of us had the Rockies winning the NL West.
Did we
We did. We didn't even have the Dodgers in there.
in the playoffs?
Playoffs?
In the wild card?
Dodgers? Playoffs? No, we don't have them.
Well,
Wow, that's
right,
pretty crazy.
Because we thought they were going to cool off after 3 years in a row going to the World Series.
That's pretty crazy. Huh.
No, 2 years in a row going to the World Series.
Right.
We didn't think they would make it 3 in a row.
Right.
And,
right.
It's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
It will be.
I think the NL will be a little more interesting than the AL.
Yeah.
The AL, you got to wait till the playoffs. That's when it gets good, it seems like.
Yeah, they have to fix this, man. I mean, it's a lot of baseball teams that really we're 50 games in, 60 games in, and some of them are just irrelevant right now.
Yeah,
I mean, this is baseball's not doing well overall as a sport. It's really bad. This is not a good thing, and as a fan, how am I supposed to stay?
invested
intrigued.
all year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, right? I don't watch every single game.
You should.
But I try to watch every Mets game. This, I'll tell you what, West Coast trips for the Mets, and I'm sure it's the same for the Philly fans and the Braves fans. They're brutal for work days. They suck.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a hard time staying up already, and so, but. Yeah, baseball needs to fix this. I don't know what the fix is, but I mean, fuck, they got to do something.
Yeah. All right, so back to the NBA. They got some finals.
We never started with the NBA.
Well, we talked a little bit about.
How
Drake.
can we go back to something
we talked about Drake, which is Drake is the NBA now.
Who's a better fan? This guy right here on the bottom,
Spike Lee
or Drake? Sports fanatic.
Hardcore
sports fanatic. Are you a hardcore sports fanatic?
I don't know.
Are you a hardcore sports fanatic?
Yes, I am. Spike Lee was kind of annoying back in the day as well, but at least he wasn't on the court. And he did, he engaged with the players.
I guess the better question is, does it work to be a sports fanatic like that? Because their teams resulted in not really winning.
Well, to be fair, the Raptors are up 1-0 in the NBA Finals.
This has to be, for me, the least convincing 1-0 lead. Like, I don't... The Warriors looked like they were playing possum. They looked like they weren't in it. And at the very end of the game, the one thing I noticed was Steph Curry goes up to Draymond Green while he's clapping. He daps him up, gives him a handshake. It looked like they had just finished winning the game. I really get a sense of that the Warriors are not worried. They're not panicking. They're used to this. And I believe the Raptors have one more win in them. And that's it. I don't believe...
I still think the Warriors are going to win this series. I think the Warriors are going to win tonight. If the Raptors win tonight, I think we got a series. If the Warriors win tonight, it's still 2-3-2, right?
It's not. Yes. No, it's not. It's 2-2. 1-1-1.
Oh,
I just looked at it last night because I was questioning the same thing, which I wish it was 2-3-2 because then you get every other night. This way you get every 3 days. I don't like that.
The 2-3-2 setup to me is wrong.
You don't like that?
No. At no point in the series should the team with home court advantage have played less games at home than the other team, because then it's not home court advantage.
Yeah, but if you take care of your home court advantage, you at least guarantee it going at least 6, which guarantees you going back to your home, right?
Right, but then if the other team takes care of their home court advantage, You go home with all the pressure of having to win and stave off elimination.
Pressure at this point is out the window. You made it this far.
But it's wrong.
The pressure.
The pressure should not be on. That's the whole purpose of having home court advantage.
But they still have home court advantage. Out of the 7 games, they still have.
No, I know, but it shouldn't be that at any point the team without home court advantage has played more games at home. That to me makes no sense. Right? That's just nonsensical to me.
I guess for me, it's more of the time off. Like I don't want to see anymore. At this point, I want them to play every other day. You know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I want to see.
But that can happen regardless of how you schedule it.
But it would make less sense. You know what I mean?
Look, playing every other day or playing every 3 days, both are doable.
Right.
Regardless of the setup. If they played 1-1-1-1-1,
yeah,
it would still be doable. The fact that it doesn't work out that way is just because the NBA likes to stretch it out. In my opinion, they stretch out their playoffs entirely too much.
They got bills to pay, man.
I understand that, but it's too much.
No, yeah,
I don't like it. Look, the one thing that I wish would happen is I wish they would stop talking about Drake, and I wish they would stop talking about Kevin Durant. Because the conversation around Kevin Durant, and I blame ESPN for this, the conversation is all about whether he's leaving, are they better with him than without him?
Yeah.
Look, it to me, and I said this last week, and I can as I watched everything after Game 1 and the lead up to Game 2, I think it's very disrespectful to Steph Curry, to Draymond Green, to Klay Thompson, to the rest of those guys. I mean, all they're doing is talking about a guy who's injured, and there's no conversation about their opponent, and the conversation should be about their opponent.
Oh, absolutely.
Toronto hasn't gotten as much love for what they did in Game 1 as breakdown of not having Kevin Durant with the Warriors. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like ESPN wants to make this a soap opera. I don't need commentary about an injured guy to have a soap opera. The soap opera is the product of potentially a seven-game series between the two best teams in the NBA.
But, Ed, this is kind of exactly what we talked about early in the NBA season. The media loves to do this crap. And I agree with you. It's totally unfair to the Warriors, to Kevin Durant. It's unfair to Curry, to the players, to the coaches. It's
Raptors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfair because and I loved what Kevin Durant said, I believe this week, where he was like, why are you, the media, always trying to pin it's the Warriors and Kevin Durant, it's not them.
The Warriors.
Right. It's not the Warriors or them. It's and this is why I sided a long time ago with Kevin Durant that talking like this to the media and not respecting them because they treat these players unfair, and it's I don't like it, and I'm not even the one in the situation, but it's like, why can't we just appreciate this NBA Finals for what it is and
for the product.
Let's worry about it in 3 weeks or whenever the finals is over. You know what I mean? Well, we're gonna have so much time to talk about.
We should worry about the whole Kevin Durant thing in 29 days on July 1st,
right?
When he can opt out and go here and do this and that and the other thing. That's when we should worry about that stuff. But now let's focus on the product that is the basketball games between these two teams.
Yeah.
I was watching some press conference. I was flipping through channels and I caught some of the Warriors. I think it was Klay Thompson or whatever. And I made the comment, by this point, by the time you get to the NBA Finals, as many press conferences as they've done during the season and in the playoffs and all that, I would just take the fine. I wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
NBA, go ahead and fine me. I'll write that check to charity, but
or just pull a Marshawn Lynch, right? Just show up and
that's the other way to go, right? They ask you questions. I don't have an answer for that. I just don't want to get fined.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. I think the media if there's any kind of schism between Draymond and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and the management and all this other stuff, if there's any crack in that foundation, it was started and manifested by the media, because that's all they talk about. I mean, 90% of the Game 1 conversation after Game 1 was about the Warriors with Kevin Durant, without Kevin Durant.
Right.
Is he coming back? Hey, this team won 73 games without Kevin Durant.
Right.
This team swept through the Western Conference Finals without Kevin Durant. There's no need to talk about Kevin Durant. And by the way, when he comes back, he's one of the top 5 basketball players in the world. Let's talk about that team.
Right. Do you think I think he's more injured than what the Warriors are leading to believe.
I think he's bona fide injured. Because there's no way he'd be missing out on the NBA Finals. You know, there's no one from top to bottom in that Golden State Warriors organization thinks it's better to play without Kevin Durant. No one. Absolutely no one.
Do you think he plays this Finals?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I think for Game 3 he'll be back.
Man, I have a feeling he's not. I got a feeling he's not. And I think
maybe
because after this game, right, they head back to Golden State, and I think if he's really hurt, the Warriors should just come out and say it, and I think that would cause all the talk to just die down a little bit and kind of have the Warriors just, zone in on. Not that they're distracted by it, but I'm sure it they get tired of hearing about it.
I think by keeping him on the will he, won't he play, it messes a little bit with Toronto. I think that's part of the reason they're doing it. Although to be fair, Toronto's seen enough tape of the Warriors with Kevin Durant, and they've seen enough tape of them without Kevin Durant. They've actually been on the floor with them recently without Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
How much does that really affect their game plan? I don't think it does.
I just don't see the Raptors, everybody else besides Kawhi Leonard playing the way they did, or not playing, hitting shots the way they did in Game 1. I think they were, back when it was the Raptors and the 76ers, I thought the Raptors had the better bench, and they did not. They actually had a worse bench than the 76ers, or at least in that series it showed. And their bench wasn't that good with the Bucks either.
No.
It's been pretty much the Kawhi show. But in Game 1, everybody else played well. But I think that's due to the Warriors double teaming. It looked like the Warriors were double teaming instead of rotating.
Mm-hmm.
The
Warriors look like they want to take away Kawhi Leonard and let everyone else beat them.
They were leaving Gasol open.
Siakam.
Right. Lowry. So even Van Fleet woke up a little bit.
If those guys can continue to step up, it's going to be rough for the Warriors. But, there's a reason they're doing it, because those guys have not until this point. I mean, Lowry has not, in general, in the playoffs. He's had good games here and there, but he has not been a consistent to Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. Kawhi's been the best player of this playoffs. I don't think there's any question, right? I mean,
of the playoffs.
I mean, what he did against the Bucks was, drop nothing but 30 points
and lock down Giannis, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, so
maybe
he had an off game, and he still had like 20-something points, but he shot like 5 for 14.
Maybe that's part of the problem, right? Kawhi really doesn't give you those sound bites, doesn't really give you any of that drama. So
they know the Warriors will. We're talking about the media.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Because there's drama with Kawhi as well, right? Is he going to stay in Toronto, right? But people very rarely talk about that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because they don't say anything.
Well, again, it's the media picking and choosing where they can generate more clicks,
buzz.
More buzz and all that. And You know, I mean,
I would rather we just talk about the basketball games. I think the basketball games have been.
Well, don't watch ESPN. Plain and simple, because that's all they're going to talk about. I don't watch ESPN. I watch NBA TV. They actually talk basketball. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, I just wouldn't watch ESPN at all.
But the games are on ESPN.
Right, no, but I'm saying like after the game, like the.
I want to watch the game though.
Just watch.
But I really want to watch the game.
Watch it in mute, on mute. You ever watch a game on mute?
Occasionally.
Yeah, I like watching baseball games. I don't do it very much though because I mean I got kids in the house and wife makes me do shit and so I like watching it. I like watching the baseball games and listening to it on the app. I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You should try it.
I might do that. What else? Hey, do you get into college at all? College softball, college baseball?
No.
Because there's a shit ton of baseball on because it's the first round, right, where they do these little 4-team tournaments.
Right.
At 16 different places around the country. That's their 64-team field. It's a double elimination tournament.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of baseball on, all kinds of crazy games going on. And then the softball's at the College World Series. And so you've got they also kind of divvied up into 2 sections of 4 to get down to 2, and then eventually they'll have like a 3-team series. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
There was yesterday for the University of Washington. They played 2 games. It was what they call Survival Saturday. Mm-hmm. So the losers bracket plays out on Saturday, and now basically the winner of the losers bracket plays the winner of the winners bracket.
It's amazing
on both sides to get to the final 2, right? So
you can lose and still win.
So the loser has to beat the winner twice.
Okay.
And the winner only has to win 1.
Right.
Anyway. So, and then they had a bit of a rain delay. So Washington was out there all day long yesterday. Right?
I'm going to guess and say they kept on losing.
No, they won.
Oh, they won.
Right, they won their first game, which then took them to the next game. They won that game as well.
Okay.
But the problem was they played early. They played like at noon, and then they were still playing at like 10 o'clock last night because there was a rain delay in there, and there's other games going on, and it was just it's nuts all day out there at the stadium in different capacities, right? Playing, sitting through a rain delay, hanging out, watching the other game. Yeah. I mean, it's just nuts. And they had this gal come in the second game. Now, I don't know if she pitched in the first game, but she was striking out everybody. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. They ended up winning 1-0. At one point, she had 11 strikeouts through 4 innings.
Jeez.
Which, if you do the math, that's only one person that did not strike out.
Right.
The Washington, a gal from Washington hit a ball that was, when she hit it, I said, that's gone. And the gal from Oklahoma State, 3/4 of her arm was over the fence and out, and she caught it and brought it back in.
Nice.
It was a cool game. It was just a really good game. It was 1-0. It was just... Yeah, it was very, very tense.
I can't really get into it. What I have been enjoying from the College World Series is the celebrations and all that, and I think that's been pretty cool. I think one team lined up before they took the field. They lined up in foul territory as a football team, so they had an offensive line. They had the quarterback. I think they ran like the Philly special or something. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, as far as the games, I don't know. I haven't gotten into it.
I enjoy it because the intensity is the intensity. It's, they're playing in the College World Series for them. And basically the College World Series is the Final 8. So it's like the Elite 8, and yeah, it's double elimination, so it's not exactly the Elite 8, but it is just as intense as the NBA Finals. I mean, it's fantastic. And the game is different for sure, right? Softball and baseball, the games are different, but the intensity is the same. The passion for the game, and to me, college sports, it's great. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I've been watching. I got sucked into college baseball and college softball last night. In baseball, they were going around the country to the different sites, regional sites, and there's just all kinds of crazy games where the team was up 8-0. The other team came back to make it 8-5, had 2 men on with nobody out, and then the team that was up 8-0 ended up working their way out of the jam and winning the game. And it was in the 9th inning and stuff. So it's just it's great. It's just great stuff.
Speaking of college, and we'll wrap this up because we're approaching a lot of minutes here. I see you didn't get the job. How do you feel about Juwan Howard going to Michigan?
I'm ecstatic.
That's a sweet move.
Yeah, I think it's great. He is, he's been a coach in training for a while.
Yeah.
Those last few years with the Miami Heat, he really had the opportunity to go other places.
That's right.
And he didn't. I think they had kind of already worked it out, I would say 2 years maybe before he actually retired. They had worked it out that he would move to an assistant coach's role. And so I think he is, and even way back when he was on the Fab Five, they say he was really the coach on the court. So I think he's got the chops to do the job, and obviously the name and the ability to relate to young people through his experience. I think he's going to recruit really well. Beeline started a really good tradition at Michigan, really kind of ramped up the quality of that program, got it to the Final Four several times and stuff like that. And I think this is a good building block. Beeline was not a great recruiter. Michigan did not have McDonald's All-Americans and all that coming through the door. I'm hoping that will change, and if that's all Juwan Howard adds to a culture of winning that was already established by Beeline, Michigan's going to really benefit from having him there. I don't care about the whole bring the connection back to the Fab Five. You hear a lot of talk about that and the banners and all this other stuff. Look,
and I don't think he cares about that either. I think he wants to win.
Right, and at the end of the day, look. The sanctions are what the sanctions are.
Yeah.
So you can put whatever banner you want up. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, they don't count, right? Because the NCAA ruled on it. It's no different than Central Florida putting up their national championship. Look, you can put up whatever banner you want. It doesn't change the facts. Right. And the facts are that Michigan won 0 games those 3 years because they vacated all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So building that relationship with the Fab Five, I don't see it as a big deal. But his cachet walking into recruits' homes, I think, is going to be huge for Michigan. Yeah. So I love it. And I did apply.
You did? I know you did.
And then afterwards, I
sent with an accountant resume.
Yes, because I figured I could be really analytical.
Oh yes, analytics is big.
Yes, and I could go in and recruit by saying, look, you can get a great education in Michigan.
I think they were afraid of you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because you're a numbers guy, you're a money guy, and I mean, I think you would do some under the table type shit, man.
No, I would not. And I did as soon as Juwan was announced as the guy. I sent Juwan a tweet.
Oh, okay.
That if he needs an assistant,
you're available.
Someone to do the sabermetrics and shit.
Right.
I'll do that.
Or to handle his accounts.
Or to handle, the team's funds. Yeah, man. Anytime there's an opening at Michigan, I apply.
You apply? Okay.
And anytime there's an opening with the Mets, I apply.
Okay. Well.
And I haven't gotten a call back yet.
No. I'm sure they looked at your resume.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed one day.
That's a great signing by Michigan.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
we've talked a little bit about everything today, it seems like. If you guys want to reach out to the show, you can reach the show via email at positivesports10@gmail.com. positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do so via Twitter at eMontana21. If you want to get a hold of this guy.
Twitter, Brooklyn Gaucho 1, or just email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com.
You throwing out the Twitter handle again? Are you out of jail?
I'm not in jail. My Twitter's all messed up. I had like a bunch of followers, and they're gone. And then I was following a bunch of people, and I don't know what happened. I think Cousin Jay is screwing. Well, we won't talk about it on there. I have to give Cousin Jay a call.
I think you've been following some pretty shady people. That's why they're disappearing.
Well, it could be. Well, that's fine. I don't care about the people that I'm following. It could be. I don't know.
Well, and then you follow them and they follow you.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They want you to DM them for promos and.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
You're following some shady. You gotta stop following shady people. Bro.
Could be.
I don't care how hot she is. Don't follow that chick, bro.
Hey,
There's trouble waiting to happen.
Well, I can only be a guy. What can I say? I see, I like.
I see. Episode 77. Famous 77s? I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Damn, you may have to check this. George Murasan.
Yes, George Murasan was number 77. Very good. The George Murasan episode.
That's right. We didn't even talk about him a little bit.
No.
He played for the Bullets.
That's right.
When they were the
Bullets. Yeah, that's how you going in the way back machine right there. Wow, so that's something else. Good call, George Murasan. Yeah. As always, folks, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it greatly.
You don't have a shout out?
No. Do you?
I don't. It's early, and we did this one early, Sunday afternoon, so it'll be out here. Just go enjoy your Sunday. Make it a beautiful one. Enjoy it. Family, friends, whatever. Enjoy your Sunday.
Enjoy Sunday.
And the start of your week. If you're listening to this Monday morning, enjoy your ride to work. Enjoy, listening to while you work or on your way home after work. Just enjoy it. And have a good week.
That's very nice of you.
Yes.
I do have a shout out. Shout out to Liverpool for winning the UEFA Champions League final yesterday. 2-0 over Tottenham. The party in Liverpool is going to be... I'm sure it was something else yesterday. I don't know when they're going to have the parade, whether it's tomorrow or today. I think it's going to be tomorrow. That town is going to be rocking. So shout out to Liverpool.
I thought you were just going to say liver.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What do you call people from Liverpool? I know they call them Scousers or...
Scousers?
Liverpudlians or something like that.
I have no idea.
Look it up, bro. Look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up. Look it up. Tell us next week. Drop a comment. Let us know
what we call people from Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpoolians.
That sounds good. I like it.
Sounds legit.
Well, with that, folks, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. As always, thank you very much for your time and viewership, listenership, however you take this in. Remember, you can view the podcast on YouTube. You can listen to it on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, all those wonderful platforms. Until next time, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.